Let's move on to the. And I have to say, I mean, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I was really, really concerned about the notion of having Michael Bloomberg speak at the convention.
You pieces of garbage.
But it was clearly like trolling Donald Trump.
Yes.
And an attempt to get under his skin. And I actually think that, like, I don't know. I mean, he's not a charismatic guy. But the speech was...
Oh, screw you, you plebeian.
but he does have the money to hire a good speechwriter.
Don't you think, Sam, though, of everybody on that stage that night, that probably Trump is the most personally aggrieved just on the face of it by, like, Bloomberg just because of his assets?
That Bloomberg, because he has more money...
Yeah.
It sticks a little more?
Yeah.
I mean, I think so. It's not inconceivable that, you know, Trump turned to whatever lackey was standing next to him going like, I can't wait to launch Trump Media and beat that guy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's Bloomberg crapping on Donald Trump. And I think it was also... It was effective insofar as, like, he was being very explicit that he didn't agree with Clinton on policy questions, which made me feel better anyways.
Yeah, same.
The last thing I
very
wanted
reassuring.
him to, whether or not it's true, who knows. But it was nice that he said it. Here is Mike Bloomberg on Donald Trump.
Trump says he wants to run the nation like he's running his business? God help us. I'm a New Yorker, and I know a con when I see one. Trump says he'll punish manufacturers that move to Mexico or China, but the clothes he sells are made overseas in low-wage factories. He says he wants to put Americans back to work, but he games the U.S. visa system so he can hire temporary foreign workers at low wages. He says he wants to deport 11 million undocumented people, but he seems to have no problem in hiring. What I miss here? Truth be told, the richest thing about Donald Trump is his hypocrisy.
Yep.
He wants you to believe that we can solve our biggest problems by deporting Mexicans and shutting out Muslims. He wants you to believe that erecting trade barriers will bring back good jobs. He's wrong on both counts. We can only solve our biggest problems if we come together and embrace the freedoms that our founding fathers established right here in Philadelphia.
If anybody's going to get low wages, it's going to be people working for me.
Come together and kiss the soles of my shoes, you plebeian bastards.
I got to say, though, that part about, like, the richest part about him is the hypocrisy.
Oh, that's a good line.
It's a good line, and, you know, Bloomberg's, you know, there's probably not a tremendous number of people who can get away with that.
I have two
I mean, in terms of saying it, right? Because Trump can't come back and just say, like, I can buy and sell. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I can't. Actually, two quick thoughts on that, though, Sam, is I actually thought one of the things that was effective was you could use Bloomberg's kind of disdain and elitism and sort of like, they got my order wrong, to, like, your advantage for that speech, because that was the point, to be dismissive and condescending. So that was great. But the second point was watching him up there, it's like, everybody who wrote like a Mike Bloomberg as third-party insurgent should be so embarrassed. Like,
oh
are
my
you kidding
God.
me?
Oh,
as
my
a nominee, like my fellow Americans.
Honestly, you know what?
you crazy?
I know exactly at what point last night that occurred to me. I'm watching the speech, and let's see. It was. I'll tell you exactly when I had that thought. It was exactly at 9:42 p.m. when I tweeted out, and based upon what I had just done, just laughed out loud, remembering that Bloomberg threatened to run for president.
But even give him his own delusions. I mean, just like the broader, like that there were serious articles written about this. I mean, and that's why he's smart, right? Because even he had the sense that I would spend $1 billion and get 3% of the vote.
Yeah, I mean, well, look. Supposedly, it was he didn't run because Hillary was an option, and
Right.
he would have run against Sanders. Had it been Sanders Trump, he supposedly would have run.
Probably.
I
Who knows?
I frankly not convinced that wouldn't have ensured a Sanders victory.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to peel people off, but not from the not. And he's just not a dynamic guy. He can't. There was a tremendous amount of lack of charisma, but it was just, I think, seeing a guy who really, in many respects, his claim to fame is a function of his billions in many respects, and I think he's probably did more to earn that than Trump.
Well, as
certainly.
he pointed out, he didn't start with $1 million from his dad, which was another great line. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
proper plutocrat. Like, you
Right.
talk about the competency thing all the time. Bloomberg, that's basically the main point he could make about himself, and it's a
Right.
great contrast to Trump.
Right. Here comes the new money.
Yeah.
Or the low end money.
Exactly.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.